Nothing memorable about that, really, was there? Let's face it.
It's 107 miles to Poole and 104 miles to Bournemouth.
I can't believe that. Why has it been taking me so long?
I don't know. I know where you go.
It's taking me hours.
I don't know where you go.
I need to get sat-nav.
Yes.
We have Martin Freeman with us on the show, and we
Hello.
couldn't be happier to have him here, even if he does look a bit strange this morning.
What looks strange?
Well,
I'm not on telly, so unlike you, I haven't turned up in a cape and kid gloves. You know what I mean? You look like the Ripper.
I didn't wear my kid gloves today.
Well, did you
I
not?
so don't look like the Ripper.
You might look like the good one, the Victorian
There's
one.
blood on my hands is why I cut myself shaving. Actually, a cape is a good thing, though. Have you ever worn a cape?
I haven't. My mum has. I think capes are all right.
Yeah, women used to wear capes a bit in the 60s, didn't they? And in the 70s. A cape was kind of like almost made its way back into the fashion mainstream, but no, it didn't quite.
With a nice bit of satin.
Yeah, a lining,
Inline,
and maybe a lion head clasp. I think that's the one my mum had.
Ken Morley in Hardware still wears things like that.
See how he did that? Wow. He's come on.
I don't
That's
normally
pretty
do.
good.
Yeah, I don't.
He's learned the
See,
business.
normally I wouldn't, but he really does. See, that's the, you know. I don't mind if we don't talk about it, but I'm just bringing that up.
He wears a cape, what, for social occasions?
Yeah, you know, why not? No, he doesn't really wear a cape, but he wears, you know, good, solid clothes.
Buckles.
Buckles, he does wear buckles.
Okay.
Crossed guns, things like that.
Martin can currently be seen in the sitcom Hardware, which is on ITV1. Lower your standards, why don't you? Give the commercial channel a chance. Because let's face it, ITV really is, it's become the plebeian channel, hasn't it, Martin?
Become?
Yeah, well, more so than previously, I do
Right.
believe so. You believe, because this is the channel that once brought us Brideshead Revisited.
Yeah, I guess.
And still their drama is of the
No,
very
yeah,
top drawer.
I think you could probably... Well, if I were an ITV spokesman, I could probably point to things that they still do. Yeah, but what about
Dr.
this and
Zhivago
that?
was very good. They
Indeed,
had
yeah,
Cold
all of that
Feet.
stuff.
That
Yeah,
was above standard. So certainly, yeah, of course, I'm being...
And you could point to enough things on 4 and 1 that you
Four
think
isn't
terrible.
even on the scale anymore.
No, so
Four,
what's happened there?
I don't know what
Truly, I mean, it's truly... Well, their remit started out as what? Interesting, challenging telly.
challenging different stuff and occasionally
You know.
a little bit of opera. And now, what have you got
Yeah.
now? They've become worse than 5.
Yeah.
We've
It's
had- I feel
Channel
I've had
5
this
with
conversation
swearing.
with-
Yeah.
But you're on ITV1 with Hardware. This series, presumably, you finished some time ago, though, I would have thought.
We finished filming, in February.
And so that's...
So actually, no, not that long ago. The turnaround, we finished late February and it started broadcasting late March.
And do you know if it's coming back yet? Do you know if they're recommissioning?
To be honest, I think they're quite confident. Because the figures have been really good, you know. Lots of people have watched it, and
But it's kind of difficult to tell what's going on at the moment, because obviously we had this war, which you might not know this.
Oh, right,
An
okay.
actor,
No, yeah, I
you're
wasn't.
quite self-involved.
Yeah. No, I know about the Wars of the Roses, obviously, and the Plantagenets. I don't really know about
Unless
that.
there was a part for you in it, you probably didn't notice it. You
I've
probably
got my
no,
eye on the TV movie. Yeah.
I could see you as a young
Chemical
Saddam.
Alley, yeah.
You could be a good young Saddam, because you've got the kind of features that would lend themselves to the Middle East.
What are you saying? He's called me chubby
Quite
before.
squished
Right.
and round, you
Come
know,
on,
like
man.
a well-fed dictator.
I'm not this squishy, surely.
You've
to
become
God.
squishy. Do you mind me saying that, Martin?
I suppose.
I think you have in the last couple of months.
I'm entering my fat
In
Elvis
The
period.
Office, he was that kind of one of those desirable characters that
Yeah.
women find themselves attracted to
Strangely.
despite themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not conventionally good-looking in the Brad Pitt sense.
You're going to carry it on, aren't you?
No, I'm
It's
not being
unbelievable.
unkind, but I'm
It really
saying
is
someone like
incredible.
myself is handsome in a very classical way,
Sure,
okay?
sure,
It's
sure,
a
sure,
traditional good look.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a manly look.
Yeah.
Chiselled features.
Yeah.
Tall,
Yeah.
deep of chest, muscular.
Cape.
A provider. Yeah,
Yeah.
a man who could
Little
carry
medical
a cape with
bag.
impunity.
Yeah.
People like yourself, they're more... Normally, you would play a yokel. I would play like a robber baron. You play one of my serfs.
A rubber baron.
No, a robber baron.
Oh, I see. Right, no, I wasn't taking the mick. Although that's been a while, I suppose, since people have taken the mick out of the way you speak, and I didn't mean to do it that time.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't happen often enough.
Sorry.
But were you surprised by it? I mean, you obviously had confidence in your own looks, I suppose. But you really were...
No,
I know a lot of women...
I'm fairly
bowled over
realistic
by it.
about the way I look. I'm fairly, and I think once, as you all know yourself, once you don't look like Brad Pitt and
Yeah.
you've kind of, you've
Make your
squared,
peace with that.
once you've squared that with yourself, life is fine,
Yeah.
because you don't have any expectations to be on anyone's bedroom wall.
And also, you must feel glad going to work next to Ricky Gervais.
Oh, I mean, then I do feel like Brad Pitt, yeah.
I believe it was Pope who wrote.
Mm-hmm.
He should take a monkey around with him so that he looks better by comparison. Indeed, Shakespeare in Henry the Fourth Part 2, in the classic Hal speech, says... Something like that. I've forgotten the quote now. I will shine
You're
that much
right.
more brightly than that which hath no foil to set it off.
Who told you that?
I learned that speech so
Did
I could
you?
impress girls.
Did you?
Yeah, it never worked.
It's worked with me.
You must know a lot of plays. What happens to you when you're acting and you finish a part? Does the play stay in your head? Do the lines stay in your head, or they just flit away? Do they come back occasionally? Unbidden?
Not really.
No?
that was dead air for a second.
They're gone?
I was genuinely thinking. No, it goes. I generally forget pretty quickly because I'm moving on to the next thing.
And if you had to go back into that production, though, presumably it's there,
It is kind of somewhere. There is a residue of it.
like
Yeah.
a layer of bedrock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of words.
What's the most fun you've had acting? What is the best job when you look back on? What was the most fun for you on a day-to-day going into work experience?
Well, probably I would. The Office would definitely be up there because you do spend a lot of your day laughing,
Yeah.
and you spend a lot of time just having a genuine laugh, on and off camera. It's a very friendly set, and it's a really kind of nice team of people.
Have you been invited back for the Christmas special? They're making it?
Unfortunately
so
not.
they still
No.
haven't contacted you about it?
No, they haven't contacted me, but they've contacted me to say I'm not going to be involved in it. So
Oh, seriously?
no, not seriously.
Oh, I see.
Of
Well,
course.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
like
hard
they're
to
going to
keep
make
up.
they're going to make The Office without me.
Well, because at the end of the last,
the Queen's physician.
I thought
Look at
you
him
might
from
well.
1879.
You could have been easily written out by,
I could have been, yeah. I could have been. That's the fluid beauty. Of
What
the
a
show.
terrible thing to have your, do you find yourself sucking up to Ricky near the end and Stephen Merchant near the end of the series and going, working with you guys was just the gift, really.
I don't. Do you know what? I never have found myself sucking up to Gervais or Merchant.
Not even tempted?
Try sucking up to Merchant and get a ladder.
He's a very tall fella.
He's
the
a
joke.
tall boy.
That's the joke that's being made by Martin there. We should point it out for people who might not be aware. The joke being the idea of sucking and height.
Sure.
We're putting the two together in a comic way. It doesn't bear dwelling upon, but we're doing that now because I don't know whether it was clear enough to people that you would need a ladder to get up to him.
6'7".
Okay. I said Martin was great on the talk show.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, it's early, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Hey, why have you had your hair cut? What is going on there?
Because, it's hot anyway, and I like short hair in the heat, but also next thing I'm doing is 17th century, and apparently they shave their heads under periwigs.
And with the Fred Perry jacket you're wearing there and the
Yeah.
untucked shirt there, you look a bit like a classic skinhead casual from the 70s.
I think it looks like a mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's more skinhead casual. Just moved on from the mod. Suede head. That was the phase.
Yeah.
That was all of that has been my calling card from about the age of 9.
A casual, by trade.
Well, no, just just kind of mod, skinhead, casual, rude boy. Rude boy was the first thing I ever wanted to call myself when I was about 9.
That's very sweet, actually.
Yeah.
And did you
My
get
mum
into
didn't let me.
Madness and Selector and
Of
stuff like
course, yeah, and through that, Prince Buster. I met Prince Buster the other day.
No.
At Jules Holland, yeah.
that? He was over for that.
He was, mate. He was for the Spring Hootenanny. I was so made up.
Was he? Did he
I
perform?
met him, I met Rico, I met Georgie Fame. It was brilliant.
That's a good night out.
Yeah, it was a great night. It
When
really
are they going to
was
show
good.
that?
They're going to show that, I think, on the 1st of May.
And that
Terry
presumably-
Hall was just in the audience. He
And that-
wasn't even performing.
That would be on BBC, of course, because if that was an ITV show, they'd have had Doll on it. You see, that's the difference between the channels we're talking about here.
Yeah, I know. It is, actually.
It really is,
And
isn't it?
Lee John.
It had been hosted by Davina.
Yeah.
But that must have been great. What was Prince Buster? He must be quite elderly now.
He is quite old, but he's still quite robust. And he and Suggs they finished with a duet of Madness. The Prince Buster song where obviously Madness
What a
got their
special
name.
moment. And
Yeah,
his
it's
voice
lovely.
is still strong?
His voice is still great, yeah, and he's a real old-fashioned gent entertainer. I went up to him and because there was a bloke in his kind of late 30s with a little record sleeve in front of me getting it signed, and he was obviously an old mod, and I said, look, that was great, thank you very much, and he said, he was just very, very gracious,
Very charming back.
yeah, really, really charming, yeah.
That's old showbiz, isn't it? People
It is.
giving with their
It really
time.
is. Yeah. In spite of because I think he was like a sort of Nation of Islam type guy. So he's got his militant side.
Is he really?
Yeah. But he was a convert to Islam. And,
I didn't know that.
So and he was very into black consciousness and all that. But he's not.
I tried joining the Nation of Islam.
They wouldn't have you.
They wouldn't have me.
You know
I was
why?
tempted because they're smart, and I thought I'm down
Yeah,
with you on the
absolutely,
suit and
yeah.
tie
Yeah,
front,
yeah.
the beret and the glasses and the salute, but no, they wouldn't have me.
Well, the Panthers are much more cool, I think, than the
yeah,
Nation.
yeah, I've been through my Panther phase.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
wanna-
then you got the black roll neck, the leather coat, and the beret. That's great.
I interviewed someone from Public Enemy once years ago. Remember?
Which
I think it was
one?
Chuck D.
Yeah.
And he had the Nation of Islam guys with him there. And they
Yeah.
were kind of like, you're sort of bodyguarding kind
Yeah.
of thing, but I think it's just to have a presence. And
Yeah.
they weren't even chatting to me. Wouldn't even pass the
Wouldn't
time
even do
of it.
small talk.
Wouldn't even do small talk.
They
Oh,
wouldn't
and
even
I
talk
said,
about Golden Girls or anything.
Right, fellas, how's it going? Nothing. Got
Nothing.
nothing back.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Seen the latest Woody Allen?
I
Nothing.
don't mind you being separatist, but have a chat.
Yeah.
Come
well,
on.
if they're being separatists, they're being true to
That's
it.
too
They're
much.
separating from
That's
you.
too separate.
Yeah, in a way.
At least if you bump into someone and say, yeah, okay.
I know, but they let Chuck.
I don't
do
want
that.
you marrying my sister, but nice to meet you.
Chuck had a chat, didn't he?
Chuck had a long chat.
I saw that one. That was on telly, wasn't it?
Of course it was on TV.
No, that was no.
Where else would I have been interviewing Chuck D from Public Enemy with some Nation of Islam fundamentalists if it wasn't, in my local? Starbucks. Hello, Chuck.
I remember it because he advocated cutting off people's hands.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. I remember it.
Nice to know he's mellowed. Yeah.
I remember in those days you could tell the people you respected on your show because you would call them Mister.
Did I? Did I
Yeah,
call him
remember
Mr. D?
No, you didn't call him Mr. D. You called Al Mr. Pacino, and you called Smokey Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, of course. Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
See, they pass the time of day with you.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, see?
What a joy. You've got
Couple
a
of
good job.
coloured gentlemen I got on fine with.
Oh, man.
People don't say
alive.
coloured anymore, do they?
No, they don't. You just have. And it's on national radio.
I love coloured. It means nothing. But it's brilliant, isn't it? People used to go, she's got a coloured gentleman friend.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
They did.
I'm not so sure we want to go back there.
Well, but down in Dorset, they still talk that way, don't they?
No, they don't.
Hello.
Coloured's advanced.
A coloured's moved in. That's how they talk down in Dorset.
They haven't moved on there yet.
Let's have some more music, and we'll issue a blanket
Yeah.
apology after this.
I was going to play Madness.
Hooray.
Love Struck, but then I found Prince Buster, Madness.
Good man.
There you are.
Good man.
Do you find yourself doing the ska hiccup over tracks which aren't ska-based, ever?
Yeah, I do actually. It doesn't work over Debussy.
But there are very few tunes where you can't fit it on, and it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're joining in and adding something.
Especially with the emergence of garage and two-step and jungle and all that business.
I've never listened to any of that stuff.
I don't really either, to be honest. No, I
Have you
thought the
ever-
world had ended when I first heard that.
Have you ever been to a rave?
No, mate.
No.
I've never done E.
I've never done E.
No.
I did some C once.
Aye.
What's that mean?
Well, I'm reading something into it, and that's going to get you taken off the air.
Yeah, I meant just vitamin C.
Scene, right.
Where did we get to? Oh, E is short for ecstasy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Okay. And LSD was short for that as well. Okay.
Yeah, lysergic something.
Dicyclic acid.
Lysergic something.
We don't know anything,
I bet
do we?
everybody knows.
We're ignorant.
No, I don't.
Don't you?
Yeah, no idea.
It's kind of thing you know.
Martin is due to go to Prague soon to start filming a 4-part drama about the life of Charles II.
Well done. You've done your homework.
It's written down in front of me.
Yeah, someone else has done your homework.
Rufus Sewell will
Yeah.
be playing Charles, and
will.
Martin will be playing Shaftesbury.
Yeah,
This
why is that
sounds-
funny?
It just sounds ridiculous.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. It just sounds inappropriate.
Yeah, I'm playing the whole avenue.
You're playing Shaftesbury. Well, those were the days when people were called things like Shaftesbury.
Yeah, great. Well, he was made at Lord Shaftesbury.
Nowadays, you might meet a coloured gentleman called Shaftesbury.
I mean, I don't know how much this is going to go on. This is the kind of conversation that makes me go, oh my God, if we were just in a cafe.
But you
We're
see,
actually on air.
we've lost the colourful names.
I mean, I cannot wait to see the colour of your switchboard. Speaking of colours,
Yeah.
they'll be red as you like.
Rufus Sewell is playing Charles. Okay, so Charles, I can see Rufus in the ring and stuff, but because I'm used to seeing you play modern people.
Exactly.
It will be strange seeing you playing period, I would have thought.
I know, and I sort of want to do it, in all seriousness, before it gets too strange and people just go, what's that bloke from the
That's
office do? You know what I mean? Because that's my background, and I keep protesting, you know, I sound like the person who's protesting too much. I'm a straight theatre actor by trade, do you know what I mean? And all the telly-comedy stuff is fantastic, and I love it, but... You know, it's not my routine. I wasn't a comic. I wasn't a stand-up or anything. I'm an actor.
But you have such a well-developed comic sensibility that people are going to keep pushing you back into that.
I suppose so, and I
that's a
love
talent.
doing it. I really love doing it. I do love doing it, and it would be a shame not to do that. But it would. I think for me, it would be a real because I think I'm quite good straight, and I think it would be a shame if I just did comedy for the rest of my
The
life.
other thing, of course, is the Office being such a naturalistic piece
Yeah.
of work. People then assume that is you, and that's all you have to offer.
Yeah, true. I think there's. I've had conversations with other actors about this, about sometimes being the victim of your own natural style. You know, because actually, just the fact that some people can make it look easy doesn't actually mean that
Yeah,
your grandmother could do it, or that
I didn't say
anything
you
is-
made it look easy. I mean,
I still make it look difficult.
yeah, you look like you were suffering sometimes, and that
Yeah.
sometimes you were reaching, and occasionally, you reach extended your grasp, but...
Thank God I'm not in a play. I've heard you interview people who are in plays.
I'm not
You're
one for
such a
plays.
Palestine. You really are. It's ridiculous.
Palestine.
Well, I've got that off porridge.
I can't really enjoy theatre.
No, I really, I'd never noticed that. Why do you get actors on who are in plays then and belittle them by saying,
I don't belittle
so
them.
what you do in a play? Well, do I have to come back after the interval or what?
What's that accent?
That was a fantastic impression of
Doing
you.
like Lee Evans or something. But no, you know when you see people in play, it's my fault. I realise this, but it's all a bit too real. It's all a bit too apparent that they're making believe. They're pretending, and then you get someone coughing and shuffling and sweet papers, and someone gets up to talk to that, and I feel for
That
them.
is annoying.
And
That
it
is
kind of
annoying.
feels a little bit like, and I like, the reason why I like movies, it's easy for me, for someone who maybe can't make that extra leap, which is what you need to do with theatre, to believe in the drama and the fiction, that's all.
But don't you get wound up with people? Because people are really noisy in movie theatres, aren't they?
Yeah, but it kind of doesn't matter, because I don't feel the performers are being put off in any way. I can focus
But
on that.
you are. What about when you're... Because my cinema going has kind of dropped off because of that.
You don't like it anymore.
Well, I get so wound up, John, I really do.
You forget I normally see movies on my own.
I was going to say, I don't believe you go down the Odeon at Swiss Cottage.
I occasionally do.
Right, okay.
And I've often offered my advice to the movie to the people on the way in.
Right.
This is a
Do they take your hat and cane on the way in?
3 stars for this. No, but when I do go to movies, I don't mind it so much. Although in America, I find it difficult. I don't know if you've been to the States recently, because so many American movies now, so many blockbusters are aimed just at like simple-minded 12-year-olds. And I saw one film a while ago, and they were actually texting each other during the movie.
Yeah.
Youngsters sitting 4 or 5 seats away, sending text messages to one another,
What, to each other?
presumably
really?
explaining the plot, which explains why so many American movies are so simple-minded now,
Yeah.
because they're aimed at morons.
Yeah. It does annoy me. I just wish people could shut the heck up for a minute and watch or listen, or just be able to do something communal and shut up.
We're having an old man's
you are.
conversation.
Yeah, I know.
This
I
is
know.
an old bloke's conversation.
But it shouldn't be, because actually when I was 10, I knew how to shut the heck up, Jonathan.
You did?
Yeah,
You
I
know-
did.
You know what? You were raised properly.
Well, wasn't I just?
So many common people having children today
Oh,
don't raise them
mate.
properly, and it's
I
the
know.
commoners.
Yeah.
Because the middle classes, they're not so bad.
They're not so
Yeah,
bad.
they're not so bad.
Can we go to the news and just bail
Well,
ourselves out?
maybe. I'm hoping there'll be an item on the news about this.
I think there'll be an item on something. There's a number of
There'll
calls that are
be
coming in.
questions in the house.
88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 for the BBC. That's wonderful, the Monkeys. So you can put it over the top like that, it works as a layer.
That's not too bad.
Martin just told me some amazing things
Medical
about
facts.
his path. Medical operations he's had at inappropriate ages. We can't, unfortunately, go
No,
into them here because they're not entertaining.
No.
Just gruesome.
No, they're not as entertaining as using the word coloured over and over again, certainly.
No one's done that here. I was making a very valid and relevant point about the way language has changed and evolved, and how
Oh, is that what
silly
you were
it
doing?
is that we got hot.
Well,
under the
excuse
collar
me,
about
Noam
certain-
Chomsky. I didn't realise that was what you were doing.
I like a bit of Chomsky.
Oh, didn't it?
If you're on radio, try to speak when you finish drinking, because otherwise it's just disrespectful to the listeners, okay? If you can't even be bothered to take the cup away from your mouth and
Sorry,
put it on
sir.
the radio, what can you be bothered to do?
I'm sorry, my lord. Look at him. He looks like a 19th century.
He's been
lord.
tangoed.
Yeah.
He's been tangoed by Oswald Boateng.
Now, where are you going with that?
Nowhere.
Now, you're going to Prague. I've been to Prague. It's a beautiful city. Have
So
you
I
been
hear.
to Prague?
No, I'm really looking
It's
forward
a
to it.
wonderful looking city. It really is. They had a flood there about
Yeah,
a
they
year ago,
did.
I believe.
Yeah, I think it was quite serious.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for it. I've not looked forward to a job so much.
And how
for
long
ages.
are you filming on this for?
I'm on and off for 5 weeks, so the production is about 12.
Will you
I
be
think.
out there the whole time?
No, I'm going to have like a block of 3 weeks and come back and then a block of 2.
Because you have a girlfriend, don't you?
I do.
So when you go away filming,
Oh, I must say hello, darling, because she's not very well.
is she not well?
No,
What's
not
wrong
really.
with her?
Got a very bad cough.
That's, ooh, be careful.
I know.
It
is a big
She
hairful.
laid up at. She's laid up at home now.
Yeah.
You've left her comfortable.
I hope so. Yeah, I've told her to have some honey and lemon.
Any friends around looking after her?
I would sincerely hope not.
Are you whizzing back to look after her when you finish this?
I am,
Have
yeah.
you got an Easter egg for her yet?
Maybe.
Okay. The caramel Easter egg is very good.
Is it?
I've already eaten about 5 Easter eggs. I started early. I had a few. The giant Kit Kat one. Once you've eaten the 2 chunky giant Kit Kat bars, with it, the egg's a bit of an anticlimax.
Really?
I was hoping the inside of the egg would be filled with crispy wafer. Why don't they do that? But it's just a hollow old egg.
Well, ask Nestle.
Yeah, well, but if the whole thing was filled with it, wouldn't that be great?
Well, yeah, it would
But
be.
all eggs are like that. It's
Yeah,
just
but
an egg
why
with
aren't they?
stuff
For
in the side.
example, you know the Cadbury's cream egg?
Yeah.
Why isn't there a giant one of those? I know it'd be quite heavy.
It'd be very hard to eat as well, though,
Wouldn't
Jonathan.
that be? You'd feel, what a sense of accomplishment you'd feel after that, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be bound up for a month, but what a sense of accomplishment.
Well, they're not real eggs. You wouldn't really be bound.
You wouldn't
get
get
egg
much-
bound. Chocolate egg bound.
Sticky, it's like eating super glue.
Or... How do you keep your weight? How do you keep your
Yeah.
weight off? How do you keep your weight off? Is it just because you're tall? Because do
No,
you eat
but
rubbish?
I'm always thinking about my weight. I eat rubbish all the time.
Because
I
you
eat
don't
loads.
drink, do you?
No.
Right, which helps.
I haven't touched alcohol for about 5 years, I think.
Right, so that helps. But do you eat chocolate? Because I eat a lot of chocolate, and I've really got to watch.
Does chocolate make you break wind?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
To be
for me.
honest,
last
everything
night it was
makes
like
me
a
break wind, yeah.
swamp gas coming out of my backside. It was foul. And this morning, I'm not too proud to admit.
And it doesn't make you popular, does it?
No,
It must make you unpopular.
I even lied about it last night, and I'm not proud of that.
and put it onto what did you say?
Well,
it was?
I'd bug them in several times, and my wife had politely requested no more. And then when one more went over, and I went, no, I moved and it was trapped, and I haven't done any more. And I knew she didn't believe me, but she was too polite to press the point. It doesn't show a man of 42 in a good light when he's lying about his problems.
It's nice to see there is still that politeness after all.
Yeah,
those
there's a
years
degree
together.
of politeness, not much.
It's nice.
Although I will still laugh when I do it.
That'll get
It's
in trouble.
still. Do you not still find it funny?
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't.
When you let rip?
I find it a bit.
If it makes a strange noise.
if it makes a comedic noise, yeah.
Like a kind of a high-pitched noise.
That was a kazoo. Yeah.
Have you ever? Can I ask you something very personal?
Well,
have you ever shaved the hairs on the bottom?
No, John.
I did it once just for a laugh to see what it was like, and you make a whole different sound. Imagine if a trombone player had miraculously grown hairs on the lips of his mouth. It would be a different sound because the wind coming out would be a different sound. Okay, so then you imagine you take that away, it gives it a high-pitched note, a clammy quality.
My mum is listening to this.
I hope so.
Yeah, but, now you've ruined it.
No, I haven't.
Well, you have in a way.
Why have I ruined that? What's
Because
ruined?
now you've
there
really
was nothing
gone
to
on
ruin.
Like, it was fine when we were on to the higher subjects, like coloured.
He's a
but
classically
now-
trained actor.
We'll start talking about what she did to you when you were 15 in a minute.
He's got to go.
That was a doctor.
Hey, let's have some more music. So what are we going to play?
We're going to play what Martin wanted to play. It's become Martin's request hour.
This is great.
Great.
Sly and the Family Stone. Just sort of fizzled out in a summer way, didn't it? Yeah, you see, don't spoil it now. You asked for that track,
Yeah, I
and now
did.
you have to put that over.
Yeah, but in my mind, that was like, being mixed with Prince Buster, and it was even better.
I love the look of Sly and the Family Stone. What a great looking band.
It's a great looking band, yeah.
Who's that fella down the bottom though with the pudding bowl haircut? He just snuck in.
Leave him alone.
You know all about this, though. You're a big fan of this, aren't you? You actually know the names of all these.
Yeah, I
guys.
do know the names of them, yeah. I'm a bit slightly retentive on music.
Are you? I think you. There is something about you which is a little bit. What's the word? Special.
Yeah, thank you.
There is. I think
Thank
there
you.
probably always was. Were you?
Oh,
were
yeah,
you
yeah,
were picked on at school for that kind of specialness?
No, I was quite popular at school.
Did
in a
you
way.
have extra attention from the teachers because
Oh,
of
yeah,
that
yeah,
specialness?
yeah. And I had a different room for some reason. I don't know why.
Did they sometimes send a different bus to pick you up for things
It was
because of your specialness?
It was a coach. Again, we're getting into an area where the lit up it's going to be.
There's nothing wrong with what we're saying here now, and it's not
No.
coming from a bad place, so
No.
people shouldn't get bothered
Isn't
about
it?
No, it isn't.
Really?
It isn't. I really enjoyed singing The Office. I've enjoyed singing, even though Hardware, I think, is yet to find its feet fully. I've enjoyed what I've seen. It's one of those shows where you think, this is going to be a good show, I think. It's going to be better than it is now, but it's fun already.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't work out why quite so many people work in that hardware store. I've never, ever been in a hardware store with that many people available to serve you.
Well, to be honest,
I think that's a comic conceit.
I have. No, in Crouch End there's one, and there's like 3 or 4 guys in there. Seriously, they're not all in brown coats, admittedly. But
But are
there 3 or 4
But
blokes
are
in
they remarkably all of a very specific, different type?
They are, funnily enough. Yeah, they are. There's sort of one of me in there, and there's one of Peter Serafinowicz. Yeah.
There's the big one, and there's the fast one, there's the slightly cynical one. Who's
There's
there.
the kind of Michael Crawford one.
Right.
Yeah.
It must be fun making that as well, though. It must be a good experience.
It is fun because everyone, I've been very lucky with the people I work with. It's very nice people, really nice people.
And the script is good, of course. You've got Simon Nye doing the thing.
I'm a big fan of Simon Nye. I think he's great. I think he's really good.
I'm looking forward to the movie you're in this time.
Well, I don't
I'm
think it'll be
assuming
summer.
there's only one.
I think it'll be later. The Richard Curtis one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, seriously, I do forget that I'm in it because I'm not. It's not like my thing.
It's a tiny little bit.
It's not tiny even. It's just kind of there are so many more important people than me in it.
I find it hard to keep up with you. On the one hand, you've got quite a large part. On the other hand, it's like, what are you actually saying?
What I'm saying is there are a million good actors in it, right?
Okay,
and I'm just one of them.
You don't have to do all that. Look, you're one of the stars in the ascendancy, okay? Most of those are on their way down. and it's nice to hear you being nice to them, but frankly, you don't have to. Hugh Grant is yesterday's man.
Isn't he just?
If only you had a floppy fringe, you could have had that lead role.
He hasn't got that anymore.
Hadn't he got?
He's got quite good hair now.
Yeah. I like him. He's quite a dark character in real life. isn't he?
Yes, so I hear.
You didn't get to speak to him much?
I didn't know. He was one of the only people I've ever been slightly at a loss for what to say to,
Why was that? you think?
I don't know, because I think he's our biggest film star, and like, in terms of, he's like a proper film star,
Your
I was
ears-
behind him in the lunch hour and...
Sorry to interrupt, but
what
your
about
ears
my
are glowing bright red here.
That's because there's light behind them.
I think it's because we're talking about Hugh Grant. I think we've stolen it. Your ears have just started flushing up.
I have got quite big
Yeah, but look at
ears.
them now.
Are they red?
I think blood has rushed to your ears.
I think maybe it's
While
just
talking about Hugh Grant.
It's
Is there
the
something we
reflection
should
of
know?
your lovely Oz suit, I think is
So
what
sorry,
it is.
you were saying you were in the lunch queue with...
Yes,
with
and I thought, well, I could just say hello. Like, if he was just a normal actor, I would just say, all right.
How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing? Like your work? But and I do think he's good. You know,
Yeah, he's
but
very
I didn't really know what to say because I think because I'm starting to get that thing now of people saying the same things to me, and I think he's had that for years. He doesn't really want it again. It's like when Yoko on your show. I'm an enormous Beatles fan, and she's one of the people in the story. You know, she's like a major player in that story, and I brought a John and Yoko book with me, like John's last interview that they did for Playboy, and I thought, no, do you know what? This isn't appropriate. I wanted to get her to sign it.
That's
and I
nice.
thought,
That's quite nice. I know what you mean, though. When you do meet people who you admire, often it is hard to find the correct thing to say. Or I was, I've done a bit in the past, a bit of performing, and I was.
Have you?
I was on the Two Ronnie show.
Really?
Yeah. I was an extra on the Two Ronnie show. I was bloke dancing at the back in their Top of the Pops parody.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say performing,
Well, not really. I was an extra. And but then there was a canteen thing, and Big Ronnie, Fat Ronnie, Ronnie Barker, came up for, and he was standing behind me in the queue.
yeah,
And I didn't know what to say to him.
yeah.
And he said to me, he went, try the eggs. That's what he said. And I've treasured that. That was quite a special moment.
I met him at a BBC Two party. John Plowman, who's a head honcho of BBC Two comedy, introduced me, and Ronnie clearly, and why should he, had no idea who I was. And
Oh, look, there's a lot of coughing going on. Are you sending messages to someone?
I met them.
It's the millionaire.
I met them.
You met the cheating
England,
millionaire
yeah.
folks, bless them.
Well, no, who knows they're cheating?
Well, they were found guilty of it, yeah, we all
Oh,
do.
right, yeah, like the Birmingham Six and the Guildford Four.
Yeah, but the bloke said, no! I think we can be safe, come on.
No, I refuse that.
Okay, well, it's on Bank Holiday Monday, so we should watch it, and you should,
We should
make
watch
up
it,
your mind there.
yeah. But anyway, and Ronnie Barker said, oh yeah, you're in The Office, because John Plowman, and he said, oh, I can't watch that show. And he just kept saying how he couldn't watch The Office. I was like, oh, okay, no. He said, well, no, I can't watch it. What a horrible programme. I was like, all right, don't keep saying it. I think he meant like in the way that people say, oh, it's so uncomfortable,
It's too
isn't
painful.
it? Yeah, no, why would you want to spend half an hour watching a man like that? And I was like, all right, don't keep saying it. I mean, steady on, I actually liked you a minute ago.
No, and I sat through Sorry with your ex-partner.
Sorry was good.
Oh, you know what, I miss Sorry.
Sorry was really good,
Sorry
I
was
think.
good.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
both the Ronnies were great. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely,
they
yeah.
really
It's
were.
that same Lennon and McCartney thing. One of them always gets cast as the Wally.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair.
That was Little Ronnie. Do you remember, what was your favourite Two Ronnies sketch then, or moment?
I always remember Phantom Raspberry Blower.
Phantom Raspberry. You remember The Worm That Turned?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Well, about the women.
Yeah.
Is that the
You
women
remember
taking over the world?
Corner of the Yard. Fantastic stuff.
Was that a sort of Victorian one?
Yeah.
Piggy
They
Malone.
were.
Piggy Malone! Come on, you see. And you
do
know
know
who
that
brought that
name.
to you? The BBC.
ITV did Morecambe and Wise for a long time, though.
Yeah, rubbish when they went over there.
No, it wasn't.
They were rubbish.
They were not. They
When
were
they
there
went
for
over,
most of
they
the
were rubbish.
70s. They were for most of the 70s. They're
You can't
fantastic.
put adverts in the middle of things without spoiling it. It's true.
No, I agree. You can't put that in The Godfather, but you can put it into Morecambe and Wise.
Nah, you don't want to.
They were better on the Beeb.
I think you better leave.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
think
Who's
you've-
coming on? Joe Jackson?
Yeah, he is,
I think he
actually.
is.
I know, he's going to beat me up.
Do you
now,
like Joe
that guy.
Jackson?
I do. I think he's good,
he's
yeah.
We're done with you.
All right, mate.
I feel we've had the best from him today. You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go
think
back to
if you were
bed
to
now.
stay any further now, it would be entertaining, but it would
Yeah.
be.
It would also be a bit of an insult, wouldn't
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
to someone.
There's no need for that. When you come on next time, I want you to find a way of telling us that story of what happened to you when you were 15, will you?
Okay, yeah.
Because I would love to share that with people, and I think we owe it to them now that we've said that. And it's obviously was a tremendous moment.
Well,
After the last half an hour, we don't owe it.
It was a life-changing moment. Martin Freeman is currently to be seen on your screens on ITV on the series Hardware. The Office you can buy if you haven't already got a copy. It's out on DVD.
Can do if you
Do
want.
you get any of that or nothing?
I will do, mate, yeah.
You will get a
I
few
will
pennies.
Do, yeah,
a
yeah,
little
I will
fall
do.
down to you.
Come the summer.
Hopefully we'll see him in the Office special, which is going to be over at the Christmas period.
Christmas, I believe, yeah.
And then he's playing Shaftesbury, believe it or not.
Stop laughing, just the name
He's playing
Shaftesbury.
Shaftesbury. Is it going to be like a Morecambe and Wise version of it?
It is, it's exactly that,
Come out
yeah.
with a dog with a nodding head. He'll be playing Shaftesbury in something. What channel's that going to be on?
It's going to be on BBC One.
Well, it'll be good then.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we better stop laughing then. Greg might be listening.
Yeah.
Martin, good. I hope you have a nice Easter weekend.
Thank you,
Watch
you
the
too.
Millionaire thing, and then we'll call each other and decide whether or not we think they were cheating.
Okay, all right.
It's going to be a must-see, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
And I hope your girlfriend gets well.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
sir.
thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.